Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video on Lumber Capital Log Yard. I'm Emerald and I work at my family business, which is a primarily hemlock sawmill. And hemlock is actually the topic of today's video. I'm going to be talking about its benefits and why it's so heavily sought after. So let's go ahead and get into this video. All right, when I'm talking about hemlock, I just want to get something clear first. This is not the poison hemlock that kind of grows as some kind of like weed. This is the actual tree, and we're actually looking at a bunch of hemlock logs right now. The bark is kind of this cinnamon color, and hemlock is an evergreen. So it has needles. Well, I don't know if you'd call it quite a needle, but it also has a pine cone as well. So it's a nice evergreen tree, and it has a lot of different benefits to using it that I'm going to go over in today's video. While hemlock and pine are both evergreens and also softwoods, they are very different. Pine does not contain the same benefits that hemlock does. And hemlock also is not sappy. You won't get sticky from cutting it on the mill, whereas when we do mill pine, you get sap all over you. It's everywhere. And hemlock's just not like that. We have noticed something, and this is just an opinion, but my dad is a logger and he is out in the woods all the time witnessing this, is that the hemlock in our area is slowly dwindling. It's doing great farther up north, but to the south, it doesn't look to be doing as well. And you guys probably can't see it, but that mountain, the south-facing mountain over there, doesn't have any hemlock on it. You can see it's mainly all hardwoods with a few white pines, it looks like. But the north-facing mountain over this way is where all the hemlock is at. So to us, this just tells us that they really don't like the warmer weather. And so I think that we've had the last 2 winters pretty mild, not that crazy, and we think that this probably didn't help with the growth of the hemlock. Because of this and some other factors which I'm not going to get into in this video, hemlock has become harder and harder to find, and we're actually one of the only sawmills in our area that actually even sells it. Hemlock does an important thing to our forests that you might not think about. Hemlock is an incredibly straight, tall tree, and it actually makes the hardwoods that grow around it also grow nice and straight. And this is very important. We like the nice straight trees, and hardwood is where the money is at. So it's very important to us loggers and the people who mill that the hemlock does this, because it really creates quality hardwood, and hardwood is where all the money is at. It's the most profitable, which I guess would be another reason why not a lot of people like to sell hemlock. Well, here we are doing it anyways, right? Let's go take a look at some of the hemlock lumber that we have. As you might imagine, hemlock is on the lighter side. It's not quite as heavy as hardwood, certainly not. It is slightly heavier than pine though, but the reason why this would be a benefit to you to use a lighter product is that it's way easier to handle. And if you say you're using it for like siding, you might not want to use hardwood for that, even though it's more durable, because of purely the weight of having it on your house. It puts a lot of strain on your house. It might not be something you might think about, but there is a good reason why you'd use hemlock over a hardwood for siding. So I mentioned that it's slightly heavier than pine, but then why wouldn't you just use pine instead of hemlock? Well, this is where the true beauty of hemlock, for me at least, comes in, is its bug and rot resistant properties. It far exceeds other woods in its ability to protect against rot and certain insects. This makes it a great choice for anything outdoors. Some of the barns in our area that were sided with hemlock and were actually built couple hundred years ago still have the original hemlock siding on it. And this is due to its certain properties that it has. And so it's really great for anything outdoors. But on top of that, it's also affordable, because it's not like you're buying hardwood and having to spend that kind of money. Because sure, you have the white oak, right? White oak has some of the same properties. It does have the ability to resist rot really well. But do you honestly want to pay for white oak? I don't know. That might hurt your wallet a little bit. I'm not speaking for you, but it would for mine. I don't know. But hemlock is a lot more affordable than, say, white oak. And that's just one more reason why it's such a fantastic wood. I'm not a contractor, so I'm not going to tell you whether you should or shouldn't finish the wood, but I do know in our area a lot of people get by with siding their house with just the plain old board as you see it, coming off the mill just as it is. I mean, you can stain it, but really it's not necessary. Hemlock does great as it is. That's it for today's video, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you guys back here next time.